Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Indie Film Cafe. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody. I'm here with my co-host,
Paulie Presenza, otherwise known as the Moo Cow. Moo.
Moo. And we've got my awesome special guest who we have not had in a while. But please welcome, introduce yourself, ma'am.
I'm Cayt Feinics. I know I haven't been anywhere in a while on anything.
Oh, so glad to have you back.
I know.
I know I've missed you all.
So Cayt reached out to me recently and just said hello and hadn't talked in a while. So she was saying hello and I was so excited. And then I talked to Paul about that. He was like, bring her on, bring her back on. So I was like, hold on, let me
It's
give her a couple,
funny because
you
I
know,
was just thinking about you because I'd seen a couple of fairly extreme movies, and I'm like, I'll never get Moody to watch this, but if Kate's here, she can get him to watch them.
It's true. Well, yeah, because we still need to watch a couple.
yeah, we need to do that podcast. We were thinking about doing this extreme podcast,
Yeah.
which we'll
Either
eventually
we
do.
got to go down there, or you got to come up here. One of the two.
Yeah. I would go down there, but Paul doesn't really, he's not a big Florida fan, but whatever.
I mean,
Ah,
who is really?
right. But I'm a big Cayt Phoenix fan, so I'll
Yeah.
go down to Florida for that.
There you go. Well, today I decided I've been wanting to do this movie, and I think Paul had suggested it for another thing like blue, but not blue cheese, something what the F Friday, something like that, quick review Thursday, one of those. And I said that I was saving that, and I was saving it for something else, but we didn't end up doing that other thing. So I said I definitely want to put it for Indie Film Cafe because this is a movie called it's a 2004 film, The Halfway House. And I'm actually so I'm friends with the director, and he was one of my first guests on my radio show back when I was interviewing people, and I interviewed him for The Halfway House because I rented it from Netflix back in the day when you rent movies from Netflix like discs
God, I forgot
and
that even
stuff.
existed.
Yeah, right. But people still do it. People still no,
Really?
actually they don't anymore. I think
No,
they got
they
rid
they
of
just
that.
stopped it all.
Yeah, they stopped doing that. So now all you have to do is all you can do is the digital streaming,
Wow.
and stuff. But yeah, they did do that for a long time. One of my best friends would still do that, and he was really bummed when they got rid of it. Now he has no reason for Netflix because he doesn't like to stream them. So, anyway, so I remember renting this and going, you know what, I want to interview the director, and I did. And so you can actually check that out on Indie Film Cafe. There's the Throwback Thursdays that we have. If you look up Kenneth J. Hall, you'll be able to see that interview. So it was really cool. He talked about Chris Seaver. He was friends with Chris Seaver. Ah,
Nice.
so awesome. So awesome to hear. So anyway, but we'll be right back to discuss
Mood
all of this and more, right after we listen to some mood
music.
music. And we are back. Yes, we all watched separately, Halfway
Mhm.
House, which so Paul, you own this movie, right? Too?
No, but I'd seen it.
Oh, how did you, because you were gonna show me it at some point or something.
Right. Yeah. I think I had the digital.
Oh, the digital copy of it.
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. And then it's also available on Tubi, which I was getting Kate to watch on Tubi, and then she realized she had it. So
Yeah.
how did that
Yay, no
happen?
ads. Because I should have told Eric sooner what the movie was, and I didn't. And in his vast collection, he was like, it happened to be in the to watch stack. We actually ordered it, I think, on Black Friday when they
It
had a
the
huge
Severance
sale.
sale? Yeah.
Or as
Yeah.
I like to call it, boobs and Lovecraft.
Yes. Here you go. Now, yeah, so Kate, yeah, so Eric's a big video nerd like all of us. So,
hmm
I actually
You can
asked
see
if he'd want to come on, but he's busy, so it's okay. You
he's
know.
in bed drinking tea, eating apples and peanut butter, and watching the real
Just
Ghostbusters.
just say he's busy, it sounds better,
Nah, nah, I'm gonna call him out. He doesn't
See,
mind.
someone gets to have fun.
Well, I don't think Paul would be watching the real Ghostbusters, but anyway, I would be. So I am drinking tea, and everybody, I've noticed that all of us are drinking something separate. So I'm drinking tea. Cayt, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking sea salt caramel hot chocolate.
Nice. And Paul's got his little
Coke Zero.
1 liter, right? So
Yep.
there you go. Everybody's got
There's about a
something different.
quarter of it left.
Yeah. So to begin with, yeah, I've known about this movie for a while. I've watched it, I think like about the time it came out, like when it was out on Netflix and stuff. I rented it and then I interviewed Kenneth, and it was awesome. It was a 2.5 hour interview. Those back in those days, I had callers that would call in, and it would take like forever to do an interview. Now it's just like I'm like, all right, I feel like we need to wrap it up because it feels like it's going too long. Sometimes I do a 2 hour long interview.
Well, it's harder to edit when it's that long.
I never edit. Yeah, I just put the music
Just
and
like I'm just
then
posting it.
I just post the whole thing,
Chaos and
man.
all.
Yeah, I mean, and the only way I edit is if somebody tells me like I think we need to get rid of something that might, be detrimental to my career or be, because sometimes we're honest, on these shows, and I don't want to. I
I'm
generally,
always honest. I
I am.
always.
I was gonna say, I don't think Paul has like ever cared what he has said.
No,
I mean, I care, but I don't care about somebody being
I mean,
offended.
like, yeah, you're just gonna tell it like it is.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, because I'm comfortable enough with saying what I feel because I know it's backed up by whatever observation that I care to make, and people can disagree with me. That's perfectly fine, but you know everybody's going to have different takes on things, and ultimately, when we do a movie like this, even if we don't particularly like it, we're going to say, hey, you should still check the movie out, and we're going to give you the information about where you can purchase it so that you can make your own informed choice and the artist gets paid, which is most important of all. If we hated a movie, we wanted to just attack the person who made it, we just would never even bring it on the show.
right, exactly. I mean, if there have been a few that I've thought about, and then I was like, I don't want to watch it again, you know,
Yeah.
and
I have
that's
movies like that.
And that's the thing. Like when you get to that point, then yeah, you don't want to review. But Paul, he likes to torture people. So when he says I don't like something or like I don't want to see it again, you'll go, I'll go and see it again just so I can torture people with it. So
Point in
um
fact, one of the movies I was looking at and thinking of you guys was a movie called Calamity of Snakes, and I didn't think I'd ever be able to sit through that again, but I might if we all get together.
okay.
Well, that's
Yeah.
how I feel about those intense movies we talked about watching. They're in
Mhm.
Yeah.
my never watch again list, but I would watch them just so I could torment Moody.
See, you totally get it, Cayt.
Yeah, it's
It's
it
out of love. It's out of love.
it was like both of them because I was in the middle of both of them when we were watching Pink Flamingos, and the look on their faces when I was watching that and cringing the whole time. I own it now. I own it now. Like I do it. I get it. Like I totally understand John Waters, but I'm
Well,
just
and
like
the thing
it's
is
hard to
that
watch.
if we're really a movie people, then we need to experience a broad scope of different
Yeah.
types of films, including a
Oh,
movie
I
like
agree with
this.
that completely.
And that was
Hmm.
what I think that was why Cayt wanted to do the extreme horror stuff because I had told her I didn't like that style of stuff and I don't want to watch it. And she says if you want to be a filmmaker, you really should watch it.
Hmm.
Just even if
So
you
I'm
don't
gonna get hate for that.
what? But it's like it's true. Like I agree with that. I think it's hard, to still, you know what I mean? To
It
still
is.
It,
I
like
mean,
it,
no, trust me, those movies make me uncomfortable. And I've been in an intense, gory,
yeah, you're in
film and
American Holocaust or something or
American Guinea Pig.
guinea pig.
Yeah,
oh,
Bouquet
guinea
of Guts
pig.
and
You were in
Gore.
one of the guinea pig movies?
Yeah, I was in the first one,
Oh my God.
the remake. Yeah, that was my first movie.
That's a
Mm.
hell of
Um,
a welcome.
yeah, but I watched that movie and I laughed because I just picture Marcus behind the scenes pushing using the plunger to push out blood and marrow from my bones
Was
and
that
stuff.
Marcus
And
Cook?
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
God, I love Marcus. I actually interviewed him recently and just adore
Yeah,
him.
Marcus is one of my favorite people. I think he's so amazing in the special effects. Like seeing all the stuff he did. Yeah, for my first film, I also did a full body cast, and I have the one of the clay molds in my shed.
Nice.
Nice. Well, to go
Yeah,
back to this movie, that does actually the interesting thing to segue into it is the director, Kenneth J. Hall, is a special effects slash
Yeah.
monster movie guy. So, like, this was his first, and I want to say only, but I don't want to, because he doesn't direct movies mainly. He
I
does
think he's
special
done a
effects.
couple, but I think this was probably his biggest budgeted one.
Yeah, so he did a few, like he did Evil Spawn, he did Ghost Rider. Um,
he did Linnea Quigley's horror workout.
Linnea Quigley's horror
Horror
workout.
Workout, and
Yeah, I
Night
got that.
Visit, a short film. So, and this. So,
Yeah,
yeah, he's done five things, that he's directed. Um, yeah. But he is a wonderful special effects and makeup guy, and I mean he knows what he wants, and you can kind of see that in this film. So real quick, let's talk about the people involved, and then we'll jump into the story. But like I said, Kenneth J. Hall is the director and writer of the film. I think he also did the special effects. Um, the cinematographer was Thomas L. Calloway, who's director of photography for Feast. Um, he also
rest in
did
peace.
Bad CGI Gator and
Yay.
for Full Moon. So Danny Draven. He's done a bunch of stuff like some made for Lifetime films like To Kill a Stepfather and stuff like that. Oh, he did the cinematographer for Amy the Visitor. So there you go. Which starred the girl from Maidroid, I believe. So
Yay.
yeah. So she done a bunch of stuff, and then um, editor was Julie Lucas, who what else did Julie do edit? Goth, Bloody Tease. Oh, okay, so she's part of this Brad Sykes's crew, and Brad Sykes and his wife Josephina worked on this film too. And those Brad Sykes did Goth and did a bunch of the original Camp Blood movies and a bunch of other stuff. So very, very big. And then the actors that are involved in this film, most
Mary
notably is
Warnoff.
Mary Warnoff,
Yay.
which we had just reviewed Rock and Roll High School for our Patreon only.
She's marvelous in everything.
Yeah. But also Janet Tracy Kaiser. She was in the House on Haunted Hill remake. She was in 200 MPH, which is the Asylum, the Asylum's Fast and Furious kind of thing. Ripoff.
Asylum.
Psychon Invaders, Demon's Kiss, and a bunch of other movies. Um, so she's been there. Sean Savage played Sergeant Dick Sheen, which they make a joke or something where he said you like to keep your weapon nice and clean, right? Because of his name, I guess, and he didn't get it at first, I guess, or whatever. And
I didn't either, to be honest.
I think there was
It
supposed to.
rhymes with his name, and like I'm assuming like the Dick Shine, you know.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I didn't understand that, but it was funny because the funniest bit was his reaction to it, like that, knowing what she was talking about. Stephanie Lees plays Cherry Pie. Stephanie Lees was also in Stink of Flesh, which we reviewed
Yep, yep,
for What
yep,
the
yep.
Fuck Friday. She works a lot with Scott Phillips, and Scott and Kenneth are good friends. When he talked about Chris Seaver, he mentioned Die Science Bastard Die, which was something that Scott Phillips and Chris Seaver worked on together. And then Athena Demos. Um, she was on one of the Doctor Horribles.
Hmm.
She was Snakebite,
Yeah, she's
which
been in
was
a
nice.
bunch of stuff.
By by the way, sheen is a soft luster on a surface, a shine, or to cause shine slightly or softly. So sheen, that
Okay,
there you go. I was
there
right.
you go. Okay,
Just had to clarify that for you.
just had to clarify it. All right, we got the joke now, I guess, because we all were just well, me and Paul were just like the guy, I guess. Yeah, but she was in Skeletons in the Desert, Terminal, Creepies 2, Within the Woods, which is the
And
Camp Blood
Blood
3,
Gnome that
and
we're
Blood
gonna
Gnome.
do.
We
We're
are gonna
gonna do
do.
that one.
I already picked that out before, so you can't have it. So we just haven't gotten around
As
to
long
that.
as we do it.
Yes. You can have Axum. I'll have Blood Gnome. There you go. But yeah, it's got to be in person because you can't fucking find that one online.
Yeah,
Can't
I've got it.
no. So all right. Then there's let's see. Anyone else from it? Fogarty was played by Joseph Tatner, and Joseph Tatner was in Fame, the TV series. He had one episode of that. He was in an episode of the Brady Bunch. So awesome for him. And the Partridge Family. What the must have been like a back-to-back thing. And he was playing two different characters. So awesome. And then he hasn't been in anything since The Conquerors, um, which was a TV series in 2005 for the History Channel. He was General William Howe. So in that. Michael Gaglio, was in he's been in a couple of Jim Wynorski movies, including like A Dog on Christmas. Um, and he was in uh let's see, was it Piranha Women,
This
Attack of the 50-Foot Cam Girl.
this reminded me a little bit of Wynorski. It's like a mix of Wynorski and Full Moon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely get that. Cleve Hall, who is Kenneth Hall's brother, who unfortunately has passed away, and his Cleve's daughter Constance is also one of the background girls that doesn't have like a big part, but she's in the background. She just wrote because Cleve passed away, I think what last year in 2021. He used to have a hearse, his own hearse, right? And everything. And I think he left that to his daughter. Well, it just got stolen the other like last
Oh
month,
no.
you know. So she's been trying to track that down. I don't know if she ever found it. I hope she did because that's really sad. She was like couldn't have gone too far. Somebody had to put it on like a flatbed truck to steal it, or
And they
whatever.
get like 5 miles to the gallon, so I don't know why anybody would want to drive that around.
I don't know either. It wasn't like a full hearse. I think it was like half a hearse. It's kind of like a
Hearse
short.
that?
Yeah, I don't know. So it looks small. I saw the picture of it and I was like, oh, I'm sad that that got stolen.
Probably some dumb teenager.
I know, sad. But that's the main cast of the thing and the main crew. So let's get into this story. So Kate, we always love to hear what you have to say, and if you can kind of sum this up as eloquently as you can.
Um, so this film is about I mean like I don't want to give are we giving spoilers?
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah. We give
okay.
spoilers. If
So
you're
this
listening to
film,
this, you're gonna hear spoilers.
spoiler alert. Okay, so this movie is about a halfway house as the title, assumes that and it is about the girls there. Whenever they try to run away, they are taken in by the creepy janitor and the creepy nun and fed to Cthulhu, essentially, an old one. Um, and it's about I don't want to say girl because she looked older than all of the rest of them. A lady who is looking for her sister and plots with a detective or police officer or whatever. I don't know. He's useless.
Sergeant.
Um, yeah, whatever he is, he's useless. Um, and she like goes and pretends, she's undercover to try and go ahead and, figure out what happened to her sister and what's happening to these girls that are disappearing from this location. So, Pretty simple plot.
It kind of reminds like the his character, Sergeant Dick Sheen reminds me of Lieutenant Dick Craig from Bride of the Monster, where he's just yeah, he's just there, but like the girls and everybody else are really the heroes of the movie. Like he's
In the
just
end,
there.
like he looked like he was dressed like he's in Resident Evil. He looked like his outfit was like Leon's
Yeah. I don't really watch that or play the game, so I don't know the reference,
play.
but
It was
anywho,
like Leon and his with his gun suspenders.
nice. So Paul, what like was this your first time watching it?
No, no, I've seen it before.
Okay. So did you enjoy it like the second time or the
I
third, whatever?
I enjoyed it more the first time. I think the first time I kind of went into it just, you know, thinking that this was just going to be a, silly, ridiculous, kind of mindless entertainment. And it was. This time around, I paid a lot more attention to things. So I was a little more disappointed with more of the details.
Well, I mean, it's an independent film and it was shot on a very, very, very small budget. So,
Well, right. That's
you
not the
know,
kind of stuff I mean, though. But, just some of the other things that I kind of glossed over the first time around stuck out a little bit more to me.
like what?
Um, well, just, things like, the rape scene where, there's, the female evil girl, I forget her name. She's going to be like, oh, we're going to pop her cherry. And I'm like, that is definitely something a guy would write because no woman's going to fall for the old stupid, it's a hymen. It's like a piece of foil covering up the peanut butter so it stays fresh. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. Just goofy stuff like that, that only a guy is going to write.
Right. Well, I'll get that. I understand that. What about you, Kate? Was this your first time? This is your first time, right?
Yeah, yeah, this is the first time because the movie was still sealed on this little cart over here, which has more
Well,
to watch stack.
So your
well,
halfway
hey.
house hymen was unbroken then, huh?
It was that foil seal was pulled away from the peanut butter jar.
So you got your cherry popped in that. So what did you think?
Um, I feel like it went on a little bit. There were a couple places it wasn't that it was boring or anything. I feel like it kind of I don't know dragged a little bit, but I think I also am just tired because I watched it today. Actually, finished 10 minutes before the podcast because what else would I do but procrastinate? I do that in everything in my life, so
Pro though, pro.
yes, I mean I
Procrastinate.
got done and I was only 5 minutes late, and the reason I was is because I was making hot chocolate.
Hey, look, you're
So
not an amateur procrastinator.
True.
it's true. I've been doing it my whole life. Um, yeah, I think a couple of scenes ran long, but I mean, it didn't completely overstay its welcome, and it was an hour and 24 minutes that included
Yeah,
credits. And the credits, the credits, that song.
no, that song was in yeah, yeah. Okay, I get that. But honestly,
But
the
did you watch the music video?
on the disc, no.
Yes.
I
Oh my
watched the
God.
behind the scenes for a little bit to see
No, no,
some
no,
of
no,
that
no.
stuff.
Just watch the music video. It is trash.
Oh
It
Oh,
is
okay.
no.
early 2000s.
Nice.
Just it's like new metally, but the guy looks like he has like a permanent crick in his neck because he can't like his body moves, but his neck doesn't.
Uh,
It
that's funny.
um
No, I didn't see that, but I know it was on there.
yeah,
Apparently,
you gotta watch it.
so I talked
It's
to Ken because they said on they listed on the special features or whatever on the Severin that apparently there's commentary. And so I wrote to Ken, I said, well, I did Severin mess up because I have no commentary like listed on my stuff. And he said apparently it's like I guess it's like an Easter egg now because
Oh,
uh
that's cool.
well, I don't know if like, but he doesn't know how to get into it. So you
Oh.
told me there's somebody else I could ask. I did not ask. But apparently I could, if you could figure it out, maybe there's a way to do it. But
I'll try it.
find it because that'd be cool.
Click around.
Yeah. Um,
But
but
I
yeah,
didn't hate the movie. I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. And the acting was like purposefully bad. The scenarios, a lot of them were like meant to be ridiculous. Like the
Uh-huh.
sex scene was supposed to be cheesy, and they're talking about her missing sister while fucking, and they like
Yeah.
awkwardly rotate positions, and
Oh,
so
you
I mean that stuff is
saved
supposed to
me.
be.
Let's just go right to having sex.
Yeah,
Right. We
exactly.
just met. Let's go fuck.
How can I make it up to you by fucking?
Yeah.
Um,
That
so
that
that I
made
mean
me
that whole
laugh a little
thing,
bit,
it
but
it was just funny and amusing, and there were definitely some comedic scenes in it. Um,
Or like
but
the
it was enjoyable, and the monster was cool. Monster
I
was
was
really
going to say
cool.
Monster was the
the
best part,
I was going to say
Hmm.
the cop where he's like, oh, you don't have enough for search warrant. I'm like, yes, you do. You have more than enough for probable cause to go in there. There are missing people from that place. The guy has been seen with the exact
Yeah,
headphones.
but he's an asshole. So
Well, it was so
his
funny because I
his
was. Oh, go ahead, Kate. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say the head dude, the head police
The
officer was a dick.
inspector.
So
Yeah.
yeah, whatever he
Well,
is.
that I get because he did prove that. On the other hand, these guys want to actually catch the people,
I, I
He
asshole or
didn't.
no.
I don't think he did at first for some reason. He just didn't care. He didn't think there was any connection to them running away and the halfway house being a bad place, Because I get it sort of like because if the um it would warrant some issue if the was it the halfway house is calling them all the time saying, and I thought because I hadn't seen him forever, but I had sworn that the stupid father whatever
The
priest
priest.
guy was in on it, but apparently he wasn't, which I think ruined the ending of the movie for me because I was like, there's the perfect part where it could have been his whole plan, right? To do this
Hmm.
all because God has failed him in
I
some way or
I
something.
understand what you're saying. I didn't. It didn't bother me so much because he
No.
was kind of like a red herring. You know what I mean? So
So you would
because
have thought
he's kind of set up that way given his proclivity for like weird sexual stuff, and because he actually physically assaults the girls on a regular basis.
Hmm.
So he's set up to sort of be the villain, but it turned out he wasn't. That really didn't bother me.
right.
But
Yeah, he's just an idiot.
yeah,
This character is just a freaking moron. Which, I mean, I guess it sort of goes into today's kind of culture and today's kind of movies too. This is almost feels like it's early like that way because like the women are the strong people, in this movie, and the guys are all
ish.
morons,
They
you
get
know.
killed, unfortunately.
Well, the main girl, even though apparently she didn't know how to shoot a gun real properly or
She was
whatever.
terrible.
Yeah. But at
Or
least
smoke a cigarette.
or smoke a cigarette.
And
Uh,
stood there while the priest got his hand chopped off and then killed. And she's like, no, I might have done something with this gun, I guess, maybe.
yeah, could have done something, but and how did that happen? That very confused me. Like, how did he get his hand? Like, because I did not see the thing to go there. It must have been a really quick, like, thing because all of a sudden his hands all chopped off, and he had the shears or whatever But I don't know. I feel like I missed something or like the editing was
The
too quick.
priest?
Yes, the
The
priest when he
priest
got
got his hand chopped off by the creepy janitor dude.
right, but I didn't. I for some reason I
He
missed.
came up like from behind, like
Okay.
lower on the ground and came up.
Okay, I did not
That's why you didn't
see.
see him until after the hand was cut off, and then it showed him
Right, so it's
like
too quick, and then
doing his choppy choppy thing.
I got it that that's what he did, but like it felt like I missed something.
Mhm.
Like there was
Well,
a
if you blink, you might have
yeah,
missed it.
exactly kind
It
of
wasn't
thing.
Yeah.
as long as the weed whacker scene.
Oh man, I love the weed whacker scene. And I love I love the guts coming out and shit like that.
I mean,
That
if you needed a hint that this was pretty much a live action cartoon, it was the weed whacker scene.
yeah. Well, I mean, it was
You
a
can't hurt somebody
glory.
with a weed whacker.
I don't know. Have you tried? Well,
No, but I use them all the time, and yeah, no, I've you can't hurt somebody with that.
Well, I mean, Hey Stop Stabbing Me, also done by,
A
and
weed
that was a
whacker? You
comedy.
can?
You
With the little
can?
string.
Yeah. Stick your hand in a weed whacker and find out.
Well, I've done that. Hurts a little, but it ain't gonna cut my belly
No, I
button.
know somebody that cut their hand all off here and flayed the flesh.
Well, I guess it depends if it's the plastic kind or if it's the metal kind. There are some that have those Teflon metal coated things. Those are they last
It
longer,
was
but
a
they also
plastic
get
one,
more.
but I think there's different thickness levels too on
There
them.
And
is
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
some are thicker
He
than
was a
others.
dumbass kid that stuck his hand. I got it.
yeah.
I
All right. Anyway, so yeah, so it did have some really cool kills. Which I mean, if the guy's a special effects guy originally, and then
Right.
he directs a
That's
horror
what you
film,
expect.
and then he did
Yeah.
a really shitty job with the effects, I would have been pissed. But like I said, the best part of the whole movie was the fucking monster. He was, at first he looked really cheesy. Then later you see him and he looks a lot cooler. But like in the first second you see him, it just looked like a thing with like, you know, mouth, like a like
Well, I mean, he's supposed to be like otherworldly, so maybe who knows? Maybe the old world is cheesy and cartoony. We don't know.
maybe. I don't know. I liked him though. I liked he looked very Cthulhu.
Oh, you son
I
of a
was gonna say
bitch!
maybe Cthulhu is just really cute,
Could be
He
and we
Call
just
Duty.
portray him as
actually
this terrifying creature.
actually a former roommate of mine did a cartoon called Cute Thulu, and it was this girl bought a or got a Cthulhu doll, right? And it was a cartoon, so it was like she got a Cthulhu doll, and then she had him do tea party with Cthulhu and everything. And then it cuts to later, it goes to H.P. Lovecraft's grave, and he's going bang, 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 trying.
I would have tea with Cthulhu. That sounds awesome.
See, see, there you go. Talk to my friend, maybe he can make that happen. But yeah, I love that. Like I love those kind of
Or
things. I love
tea.
I love Cthulhu. Nowadays we get like was it was one of the Marvel there's Doctor Strange had a
Oh, the
Cthulhu like
multiverse.
yeah the multiverse of madness movie had a Cthulhu
Mhm.
type creature, and so did Suicide
Well, it
Squad.
was definitely H.P. Lovecraft inspired.
Yeah. And so this movie, yes, is H.P. Lovecraft inspired,
And
and
I love how they have the Necromonicon and it's labeled Necromonicon so that everybody can tell
Necronomicon.
Necronomicon. Not the Reader's Digest version, condensed version.
No.
this is the real
And
version.
it's
It's the
all full of like
Necronomicon for dummies.
esoteric symbols and stuff. And Mary Warnoff's like, yeah, I was able to translate that and summon in this creature. And I'm like, how the hell did you read that shit and summon anything? It's just a bunch of symbols.
Latin.
I'm wondering if you could do that on Google now. You know, and nowadays, could you
The
just
book looked
Google
cool though.
Translate?
Yes, you find the Necronomicon and you just pull up Google image and just translate.
Have you ever
Translate.
even used like Google Translate on Spanish? They can't even get that right. It's
Oh my
terrible.
God, that would be an awesome idea for like a new Evil Dead, where they're like,
Right.
"Oh, I don't understand this.
I
So
didn't
Google
say it.
Translate." And then Google translates it for you out loud, so they read the spell
Hatu,
and
But then, like,
Varatu, Niktu.
but what if it's translated then? Will it have the same effect if it's translated into English?
see, that's the thing. But like in Evil Dead, it always is, right? Like if you say the words out loud, even in English, you summon the beast,
When
summon
when
the
was it in
creature.
English though?
Well, not in English, but you say the
That's what I
words.
mean. Like, does it lose its
Like the words
sustenance?
aren't in English though. Like when he goes Klaatu, Varatu, Niktu, he's not
Yeah,
saying
that's
English.
right. He's not
He's
saying in English.
Yeah,
pronouncing whatever it is,
that's
whatever
what I'm
language
saying.
that
So, like,
is.
if it's in English, does it
If
I
it's
have
in
mean,
as much
English, I guess it
power?
wouldn't work.
the English
Probably.
translation might be something like, add a cup of sugar and three globs of turmeric and some chocolate chips and do a dance.
Yep. And then, oh, dude, you just
Black
said it.
Emperor
You
on a
just
zip
you now,
tie.
now you just brought the Evil Dead coming after us. Thanks. You know.
Oh,
Again,
where'd I go? Actually, I have the Necronomicon like over there from the
Oh,
new
you have your
movie.
own? Wow.
Well, Eric owns it. Yeah, my friend got it for him for Christmas.
and does it
I
say Necronomicon on top of it so that everyone sees it?
No, it is the skin with the face.
Oh, that's cool.
well,
That's
I
Yeah,
cool.
have
it's
this.
like
I
I don't
have
know
the.
what I can't see.
You can't read what it says. It's the
Something spirit guy.
Tobin Spirit
Oh,
Guide
Tobin
from
Spirit Guide. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Ghostbusters. You know.
Yeah,
So,
I have another Necronomicon somewhere like in my room, but who freaking knows where it is? My
well,
life is a
you
mess.
better make sure because somebody could go and summon demons and stuff, and then
I mean, there's a bunch of Ouija boards there that they could all summon too,
There
so
you
I
go.
I collect
I
them.
do it all the time with my Ouija pillow. So you know,
Yeah, exactly.
it
I
just
just and
happens.
I yeah. Well, I've got
Anyway,
one in doorways in my house. I've got them hanging in the kitchen. I love them. I collect them.
well,
Goes
that's
back to when my parents told me no, you can't play with that. Ha
So you
ha!
gave yourself a Ouija house, just like in the movie,
Yeah.
Ouija house.
Yeah.
No, because then she'd have to actually turn her whole house into an Ouija board. You
which you
know,
could do.
I mean, she could if
For
she
a
wanted
while
to.
I actually wanted to do a Ouija board tattoo, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want anybody to steal it in the event that I eventually do it.
You could
But
paint it onto like a floor and then have like a chair that acts as the little thing and just move that
well,
around.
yeah, you could actually just cut like a little table, and actually somebody did that. They wood burned it into the floor, and they had like a the planchette coffee table or whatever.
Nice.
That's fun.
So they were like,
Um,
imagine the Roomba accidentally moving in,
Oh, that
summoning
is
something.
great. Roomba Ouija. Let's write
Yeah.
that movie.
Oh my God, you could. I've got a dumbass Roomba that could be used.
I
Is
love Roombas.
he's something else. His name is Harry
Oh,
Harry.
because he picks up hair.
nice.
Not very original.
Yeah, it's original to me. I haven't heard that. All right. So we're yeah, so anyway, in the movie, there's a couple like, you know, basically as we've said, the girl lost her sister. The sister was played by a porn star, so I guess she had no problem taking off her top. Which whatever, almost every girl in this movie got topless except for Mary Warnoff, who I mean, why not? I don't know why. You
She's
know,
done it in the past, so
yeah, maybe she's done. She's over it.
at 75, I think she's done with that.
Yeah, I don't think she was 75 then. She was like what,
No, no, no,
like
no.
55 maybe.
She is
I
now
mean,
though.
she could still do it if she wants to. She can do whatever she
Could.
wants.
Yeah.
I'm sad that we haven't seen her in much lately because I love Mary Warnoff.
By the way, this movie's 20 years old. I didn't think
Yeah.
about that.
I know. It
Wow.
was weird when I thought about that because I've been going through like this whole like crisis of feeling old. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Once
It
you
just
get,
gets better and better, Kate. Trust me.
I think you're
Oh,
my
I know.
age, so we're both like, yeah, we're getting that
It's
time.
okay. You will hit a certain point, usually around 50, when it suddenly dawns on you that it doesn't really matter and you no longer give a fuck. And you can
Oh,
do
I'm at that point now,
Uh,
especially with people. Just
yeah.
like, ugh.
You
yeah,
just want to feed them to the old ones that you've got in your basement, just like in the movie.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I have a sign on my door that says, solicitors will be sacrificed to the old gods, not the new.
I like
nice.
that.
And the Jehovah's Witness came to the door, and that's solicitation.
That's awesome.
And
But you
I
didn't
opened
follow
the door.
through. You
Well,
didn't.
I opened the door like a crazy person, and I said, "Read the sign," and they were like, and I closed the door. Do not
Uh,
interrupt me at my
uh,
house.
She's got a
so,
Ouija Roomba and she will use it.
oh my goodness.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't come to my house anymore. They walk
They
past.
once they saw that and all that, they kind of warned every other Jehovah Witness, do not go to that house. Do not go
But you know
through
what though?
those
I
doors.
want to be the crazy like Adam's Family witch of the neighborhood. Like that's my goal in life. Is
Nice.
I Eventually, I'd like to move into a creepy house in a small town and just, perpetuate rumors about me.
Cast the evil eye on people.
You need to have
Yes.
you need to make sure you have a black cat that's
Yes.
I
also
already have
your
one, and she's
Mario
that's
my familiar.
yeah,
Joe.
okay, there you
She
go.
is she is my baby.
So there you go.
The world
Uh
around could die and she wouldn't care as long as she's got me.
yeah. Well, and so basically in the movie, the characters go in and do this uh they find out that the house is, as we said, has all these people kind of running away, runaways that aren't
Yeah,
really running away. They're
it's kind of like they wanted to make a women in prisons movie because that's what this feels like. It feels like a throwback to the 80s and 70s women in prison movie. Although these girls could just leave. I mean, there's no legal
Well,
reason
that's what.
for them to be there, so they could just leave.
Yeah, but
right.
they're trying to just leave and it won't. They keep kidnapping them while they're leaving.
Well, no, but the one chick goes out with the guy and
The
stuff. It
spider,
fighter.
Yeah, but
She
they find her, so if they get caught,
But that's why I
but
was
they
so
don't have money,
mad. I was so mad. I
where are
was
they
like,
gonna go? They don't have money. They don't
I
have any.
Uh, oh, true, but like they don't have money. All of them are runaways to begin with, or supposed to be runaways
Yeah.
and stuff,
right?
except for the chick who
Right.
literally could just not go back there, but
In
she felt sorry
theory,
for everybody,
in theory,
you
the,
know.
the halfway house is providing them refuge out of the kindness of their heart. And that's why they're staying there because they don't have anywhere else to go. But there's no legal recourse for them to stay. If they want to leave, they could simply leave. The same thing with the whole corporal punishment thing. When they all submit to that, and I'm like, just say no. They cannot do that to you.
We could go into a whole psychological explanation of the victim mentality and what actually happens when you're held in those positions, but we won't touch on that today.
Well, I certainly wouldn't have done. I would have said, "The hell with you! I ain't going to do that." And then even the heroine, she allows that to happen. I'm like, just punch him in the face. Shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, but she's trying to get to the bottom of everything, and then she gets her bottom whacked instead, you know. But like you see what I'm saying?
Well,
Like she's
she was a
trying
little
to.
kinky. She probably liked it.
She didn't seem like she liked it. She kept saying she couldn't even sit down for for a while or whatever. She laid down to talk to Cherry Pie, who I'm like, is that really
Break
her?
the rules. That's a peddling.
Like, all right, but anyway, so yeah, I was getting so mad because Spider and her, and he was just like, do you have any gas money? And I'm like, how
Spider.
the fuck did you get there? Like,
What did you
I
think
mean.
of Spider?
No, she's not asking for that. He literally uses her. That's all he does. He goes and gets his dick sucked and he
Okay.
fucks her and that's it. He doesn't actually want the burden of taking her away from it. He just
I
wants to use
mean,
her.
with a guy with a giant spider tattooed on his head, you would have expected more.
And I don't shame for tattoos because I have them. But yeah, he definitely was not a prized human being.
I wonder if Ken wrote that for him specifically because he had that tattoo and everything because he
He has
was
that tattooed on his head.
God, I hope that was special effect. Please tell me that was a special
Well,
effect.
it was too dark and shiny for it to not be.
yeah. I
Oh
Um,
think it was a
God.
real. I think he found the guy. He knows the guy because the guy has never acted in anything else.
but does he
So
actually have that tattoo? Now I need to find this shit out.
I, I wonder because I think that maybe it
I feel
was
like
a
no, there's no way that that was a real
Right.
tattoo. It looked like
I'm
marker.
sure it's going to help his future employment status.
hey.
Hey, I'm completely, or my arms are covered in tattoos, and I have a friend that is a professional. She's a product manager in an office, and she's been an office manager, and her whole head is tattooed. She's bald.
There you go.
Yeah,
So
I don't
you're
know.
wrong,
M.
Paul. Just admit
Robert
it.
Todd.
Shit. I
But
know a
then again,
lot of
that
places
was
they want to hire someone like that.
2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2004. Things have definitely changed when it comes to tattoos. Uh, I don't know. Look what that guy up there. What did you say his name was?
Who?
Um, Kate. You said his. his actual name.
M. Robert Todd.
M. Robert. It's gonna be hard because I feel like that's not really obviously there's a real name to that. So they even wanted to hide it. So who knows if that guy's really tattooed or not? I mean, if we had the
And
director on
also,
here, we could
by the
ask him.
way, ouch, that must have hurt and must have bled because your head is one of those spots that really, really bleeds.
Yeah. I mean, but people have like top of your head tattoos.
Yeah,
So
that's what I said. My friend does. She has it's a snake and I think a tow hitch
Yeah, people
tattooed
get
with like
face
plants around it.
tattoos. I've even seen lip tattoos.
hmm
Hmm.
inside the lip too. Like,
Hmm.
and
Oh,
stuff.
I do. I have one inside the lip.
Wow,
I
that
can't
gotta hurt.
yeah.
It
Uh,
doesn't hurt.
really?
It's like someone taking a paper clip and scraping it on the inside of your mouth.
Still, I don't want
You ever
that.
bite the It hurts worse if you bite the inside of your lip than getting the
Oh,
tattoo.
no, no, no. The inside of my mouth is where cookies go. And that's it.
Yeah. So anyway, that guy, I mean, I did feel like, yeah, she could have, the main girl could have left, but she did for a little bit, and then she came back, obviously, because she had plans to continue this stuff, and she snuck away with being inside the bag of, uh, I don't know, it wasn't trash, what was it, a laundry or something?
Laundry.
Laundry. So it was like a laundry bag, and she was like thrown. I was like, really? Is she that tiny that he can just toss her like that? I don't know. Like, I think he would have noticed a woman in there, but
Yeah, again, there's too many things that
it's
are
very
just
cartoony, you know.
exactly. It's
Why
Yeah,
is
see,
there trying to rationalize a film about a Cthulhu monster?
I know. But I mean,
it's
sort of.
just
That's what our show
the
does.
thing
That's
is that
you know.
You
I
can't rationalize silliness to
the,
begin with.
the best some in my opinion the best comedy tends to be grounded in reality. It's just like the whole point where the cop gets eaten and no one seems to care. I'm like, not only is he a cop, but he's like the head cop, and he's like dead and missing, and it's just like, oh well, whatever. He was an asshole. No one cares.
Well, they did say that. They did say he was an asshole. So I mean,
You know what? If you're an asshole, no one's gonna care about you.
And
Don't be an
for
asshole.
even though he was
be an
being an
asshole.
asshole, he was at least doing his job. He tried. You got to give him that.
Yeah, and he died on the job.
Kate Phoenix just gave us our own PSA for the day. Don't be an asshole. That's
Well,
it.
it's more of you can be somewhat of an asshole. Just don't be a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Well, and then I love how he establishes that first off when, the very first thing he says when the girl comes in for help is like, oh, nice tits. Like, really?
Yeah.
Is that like not, that's what your brain says. That's not what your mouth says, idiot.
Right. But like, yeah, but once again, that's how it establishes character, to begin with. So we know this guy's an asshole who like because most of these movies you root for the asshole to die. So when they die, it's
Yeah, it's
only the
okay that things
movies
go
that
wrong.
like let the asshole live,
Well,
in these
I
horror
mean,
films
he's
that you
just
kind of
playing to the stereotype that already exists.
and that's kind of the other thing you touched on there that I kind of annoyed me a little bit more now is that too many girls died and very few of them earned it or deserved it. It's just I just kind of felt bad for them, and I'm like, well, this is supposed to be a comedy. Why am I feeling bad?
It's a horror movie first.
yes, it's a horror film. And Paul, see, this is the thing. Maybe you shouldn't watch horror films, Paul, because you always get upset about the girls dying. That's the biggest part of horror, because there's
People
always a
died.
final girl. So, if you go watch a David Dakota movie, if you want a bunch of dudes dying, like, right?
You watch the
I've seen
Brotherhood
those
movies.
too. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
See,
they they can all die.
I have
Don't care about
such
them.
right.
softness in my heart for the Brotherhood movies. I love
The
them
first
so much.
two are
And I
great.
really want to know what David Dakota's fascination is with lightning.
Yeah, he does have a little thing with lighting. I think it's just a cool effect and it looks good. I mean, I think that's
No, I feel like it's symbolism of all the dudes in tighty
his
whities in his
uh
films without shirts on. Like,
okay. Maybe there's more to it.
Because
I
because
never think
there's
about it.
there's scenes and there's always a scene before some
I
weird
didn't
sexual
even
tension
notice it
thing
in
before explaining.
1313 Bigfoot Island. I'm going to have to go back and watch that
No, no,
again.
it's his Brotherhood movies.
Oh,
Yeah, it
okay.
says Brotherhood movies and Wolves of Wall Street, I think, do that too, which I think was supposed to be a Brotherhood movie, and then they just made it, its own
I
thing.
love the Brotherhood movies, and
Yeah.
I wish they all got like a beautiful Blu-ray 4K release.
Yeah,
And
David Dakota, what's up with that?
I
and
know.
really, I always kept
Someone
saying,
talk to him about it.
instead of Wolves of Wall Street, why couldn't it have been Werewolves of Wall Street? That would have been so much more fun.
Because it's called Wolves of Wall Street. I don't
I
know.
know, but werewolves.
Because it pulls in people because of Wolf of Wall Street.
I know.
No,
People are going to
actually,
search for
no,
the
no, no,
wrong
no, no, no,
thing and
no.
they're going to find
No, because I don't think Wolf of Wall Street was around at the same time that Wolves of Wall Street
was
came.
it
I don't think so. I think it was Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah,
earlier?
it was 2013. Wolves of Wall Street was 2006 or 4 or
Oh.
something. Wolves
Yeah,
of
because I don't think I've seen that one.
Wall Street. That's 2002, and it starred frickin' Eric Roberts. So
Every
Eric
movie
Roberts.
stars Eric Roberts.
Yeah, we talked about that. Eric Roberts.
Eric Roberts as a Wall Street like day trader. I would
He
watch
I'm
that
a
so
fan.
many times.
Yeah, he is in that movie. He's the Martin Sheen, from Wall Street. He's that kind of guy or whatever, he's the boss. He's the big
Well, I
guy.
mean,
Mm.
that's essentially what people would call them too. I mean, they are.
But yeah, I
You
think
have to be a
you have to
wolf
be a
to
Wolf of
survive.
Wall Street, and so that
Mhm.
was what it was. It was
Right. So that's the
werewolves.
next step is to be a werewolf of Wall Street.
Well, it
A werewolf.
so
Oh,
that
to
they
be.
are werewolves in that movie, but they don't call it Werewolves of Wall
Then it
Street, probably
gives it
because it sounds.
away.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, but.
Not that David Dakota is going to hide things for long in his film.
Yeah. He's not subtle. There's
No.
no
But if
subtlety with this
someone
one.
can please just talk to him about, remastering, releasing the Brotherhood movies, and then would like to gift them to me, that would be wonderful.
Hint, hint,
I
hint.
I interviewed Bradley Stryker, so maybe if I ever chat with him again, I'll say, hey, can you? Because he's still really good friends with David.
I just I just
David gave him
want
his
them.
start. Now he's a huge, now he does stuff, and everything. So, and that's the beautiful thing about David. But we're not here to talk about David. We're here
Yeah.
to talk about,
One thing I will talk about is I did
Cayt
like
will sidetrack
the
you.
I did like the direction. I thought the lighting was well done. The
Mhm.
sets were pretty darn good. I actually believed a lot of these places that,
Yeah.
unlike a lot of movies we go to and we see what's ridiculous set is trying to pass off for a police station or a school. So he definitely had a budget for this one, and I think it was well used, and that was good.
My
Um,
only
I
oh,
just want to eat at the Jack in the Box behind the like or across the way from the halfway house. It made me want their tacos.
I love Jack in the Box. We had them out in LA, and Jackie hated Jack in the Box, so she never went with me. I had to go by myself to go to the Jack in the Box, and I
Boing.
was super happy to do that, you know. But
Yeah, but sorry for interrupting. I was just
and
really
Del
excited about
Taco
that.
and Del Taco, I
We
miss.
have Del Tacos here.
We don't have any in Virginia, so
Nope, 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 nope.
yeah.
Well, it's
And I
Virginia.
don't think we
But we
have.
do have the only Jolly Bee on the East Coast.
No, there's Jollibees down here now.
Oh, there are now?
There's a Jollibee in Orlando.
Wow. That's
I just haven't
interesting.
been yet. I need to go. Yeah. Yeah, they've expanded. So
Gotcha.
All right. Well, we need an in and out as well, so if we can just get those things to come to
that'll
the East
never
Coast.
happen.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen because it would already have
I
happened.
think it's a Whataburger territory. I think they divided the country that way.
We
Yeah,
don't have
we don't
Whataburgers
have
either.
We have
I don't
one.
have Whataburger where I am, but if you go to northern Florida, they have Whataburger. I
We
just
have
like their
we have
spicy
one
ketchup.
off-brand Whataburger in Hampton.
What do you mean off-brand?
As in, it's called Whataburger, but I'm not 100% certain it's actually a real Whataburger. But it's on Jefferson Avenue as you go towards Mercury.
Oh, I'll have to see. Um, Anywho, I went to one in Texas and I was so super excited. I loved it. So,
I just like the spicy ketchup from Whataburger.
yeah,
And you can
there
get
you
that
go.
at Walmart.
Well,
We tend to wobble off topic
I
here.
know. And
Oh,
talk
when
about the
I'm here, that's because Cayt
uh,
is never on topic for anything.
well, it's also all of us, and top of it, I think you and I. Well, I know I have ADHD. I'm actually,
Oh, I do. I'm
diagnosed.
ADHD, so
And
So,
we don't have just Jen with her iron fist making sure that
or
we stay on topic.
and John Ward saying, stay on target. Because
That's funny.
that's we.
that's no fun.
I
Why
know,
not
but
delve into my mind of what will I think of next? I just keep people on their toes. They can
There you go.
guess and they never know my next move because I don't.
well, I will say because I think we are gonna about to get to that part of that time where we have to start wrapping it up. But I just wanted to say that the ending of the movie kind of disappointed me. Is the only part that really disappointed me. Just because the cop, got killed, and then he comes back for like 2 seconds, and I'm just like,
Mm,
ah, like why, why? You ruined a really good actual scene to try to make something else with it, and it
that
didn't.
and the Jaws reference was a little too
Mm,
much for me, a little too
yeah,
much cheese.
and I
The whole thing is that way.
yeah.
That's what drove you over the edge.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I think it got up to that point, and he's like, "All right, this is good
it
enough
jumped the
cheese." And
shark at that moment.
it jumped the jaws.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a cheesy scene, but that didn't the smile you son of a bitch didn't bother me, but as much as the cop coming back and attack,
Why not? It's his death rattle. It's his
it has,
last hurrah to
I
save
don't
the
know.
day because he promised he would protect her.
Right, I know, but I
Because
just
she had sex with him, so now he feels obliged.
But you know what though? It's better that she ran away with cherry pie, was it?
yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
Cherry
mean,
pie. I
there
like
you
cherry
go.
pie. She was sweet.
Another movie and I was glad she didn't die. You know,
Yes,
of
I
all
was
of
worried for her.
Yeah, I was worried for her too because it did get to that point in the movie where you're just like thinking it could go either way. She could just get killed, and then Mary Warnoff you knew was going to get killed.
And the other last thing at the end, when Mary Warnoff is sort of explaining why she's kind of rationalizing why she's doing all this and how she was raped by men and these men deserve to die, and I'm like, but you're killing women. Why aren't you
Yeah,
killing men?
and sort of true. Like I thought about that too. It's like, well, yeah, but I thought that maybe she'd explain it because like I thought maybe the girl would be like, then why are you killing women?
Right.
And
Well,
then
they're
she would be
killing
like, that's the
they're
only way that
killing men, but they're sacrificing women.
that's what I was thinking, like the sacrifice. They have to
Mhm.
sacrifice to the old god.
Sustenance. Maybe he doesn't prefer the taste of men. I don't know.
Yeah, so you just
I
kill all the men and
I don't
eat all the
prefer the
women.
taste of men, so here you go.
Yeah, they get that extra funk, a little too much testosterone.
Yeah.
But I
Uh,
realize my comment is, how I could live my life.
but so yeah,
Some may get that joke, some may not, but I will never explain it. But I don't
well,
actually mean the first part.
okay.
Prefer my long pig female.
Okay. All right. So I don't I think we veered off a little bit, but uh you know, so what did you think of the ending, Kate? Did you like it?
Yeah, I thought it was the ending of a movie. I mean, because the movie was more, I think, about just the silliness and the special effects than it was about I mean, it's a predictable story. I liked the fact that, they ran away as lesbians.
As you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I
So,
mean,
and especially,
what, go ahead.
well, technically, she's probably like pan or bi, but
Yeah.
with that
Well,
time frame, it probably would have been bi.
it would have had to have been bi because I don't think pansexual was a term in 2004 yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's more
Sure, it
modern.
was. It just wasn't, widely used in public because most people didn't wouldn't have understood the difference.
People still
Yeah,
don't understand the
Yeah, people
difference.
still don't understand the difference.
that's so true.
And
But
we can talk about that because you got Pan Man. So
yeah, I did buy a movie called Pan Man, but that I don't think that had to do
What
with
is that?
pansexual. It's a movie with a guy with a pan on his head killing people.
Oh, I was hoping it was about a pan person, but
No, no, it's
Well, he could be
literally
Pan, but he's got a pan.
he's got a panda. Like it's literal, so yeah, it's not, nothing subtle
how
or
disappointing.
no. Well, so no, I think the ending, honestly, the ending was okay, but I think if the the guy hadn't come back, I think I would have liked it a little bit more. I think, because I was so happy, like, once he died, I was just like, he tried to help her out, and he didn't win, so now it's her turn, and now it's like, okay, now he's coming to, like the guy has to protect the girl. It just felt, I don't
No,
know,
but in the end, he died and she killed the monster or,
right?
shot him in the eyeball.
Shot him in the eyeball,
Well,
and then
the thing
blew it
is
up
that
with the big
he ends up stabbing the helper,
The
that guy, but he
janitor.
doesn't really die either because he also gets up and then does his thing, and then later when the script requires him, he's like, "Oh, okay, I'm done."
Yeah, he's dead now. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I like the and Cleve Hall did a great job as the handyman, guy or
He was
whatever.
like a scruffier version of Clint Howard.
Yeah. And then I just love how, like, because it got those kind of cheesy jokes where, like, he's like, I'm not gonna tell you anything, and then he points the gun at and goes, what about now? And he's like, okay, I'll tell you. Right? Like, because he had the gun to his head, but I like, it was just sort of funny. Like, they had that cheesy little stuff with him, and he was like he was Renfield, he's just a guy who's there to help the master, with the
A
plan or
minion.
whatever, the minion.
Mhm.
And so I like that. I mean, obviously, Cleve did a good job making himself look just, gross, or whatever, that you're like, oh, I don't want that guy around me, you know?
Panty
But,
sniffing throughout the whole movie,
yeah. Oh God, there was one point where they had a blow up doll and she was
right?
trying to put it away. And I'm like, wait, so she got that out of like, was it the
The priest's
the
closet.
priest's
Yep,
closet?
yep, yep,
So
yep.
he
Yeah.
really was that big of a deviant, but he wasn't like, he never raped anybody or anything. Like, he never got that far, right?
Well, he still sexually assaulted them
Hell
by
yeah!
making them bend over and spank them.
Yeah, the big paddle. So yeah,
The
but
power of Christ compels me.
yeah,
Yeah. But I
okay.
like that she put it under the desk so it actually startled him. Like, I mean, think about that. But yeah, while I was watching that, I just couldn't help but think how disgusting that thing was because they're really hard to sanitize.
Yeah, and
And I am not speaking from experience. I just know that they're very
I was
difficult
kind
to
of wishing that it
sanitize
had been a
for.
blow up nun. That would have made it even more depraved.
Blow up none. Like, yeah.
Nah, he
Well,
likes the church girl, the church schoolgirl look.
yeah, so it would have been his church schoolgirl,
It is,
you
yeah,
know,
like this.
Catholic girl, schoolgirl. Yeah.
Which is why it was in like a little outfit like that. I think it was in like a little skirt or something.
There is a movie about a blow up doll that becomes sentient and starts killing people.
What
It's
is that
Yeah.
called?
yeah, I think it's called blow up or something like that, or
Blown?
blown. Yeah, that's what it
You
is.
gave me a copy of that movie.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
I
fun.
never watched it, but I didn't know it was about a blow up. I thought it was just some weird ass movie that you found, because you find weird ass movies for me to watch.
Me?
Yeah. You got enough What the Fuck Fridays to last us forever, and I think was it the one we did with Kate was a What the Fuck, for Pink Flamingos was a What the Fuck, so we got to get you back on for another one of those,
Yay.
I know.
but it's hard to do that when you're out there, when it's easier to have you come here and do
I
it or
know.
something. Uh,
Well, because I can recommend some too. We've watched
and
a lot of really weird movies,
mhm.
um, that I absolutely just love, and they're odd and out of, no one's ever heard of them, and
Those are always the
I,
fun ones. Those are the ones
did you?
Paul finds
yeah.
me.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, we just did our haul. Ah,
What happened to
sorry,
you?
we just did our haul, and one of the movies I picked up was from is for a What the Fuck Friday, and that is, and you might know this one,
I don't know if I've seen that one. Or no, wait, is
Awesome.
that about? But it's about a spider. But
Ish.
the cover,
Yeah,
It's called
awesome.
Possum.
I
Hmm.
don't know what that one is.
Oh
But it
yeah,
looks like this one that I've seen.
it's a
I don't
crazy
think that
pants
that's what it was
movie.
called. Um, yeah, I watch a lot of weird, trippy stuff, like a lot of like weird art house, like Liquid Sky, which is one of my favorites.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Oh,
You
it's weird.
seen Enter the Void?
I'm terrible with just names. I have to.
Yeah, yeah, you have to
That's
kind of see
Gaspar
what it is.
Noel. Noé. Yeah, it's one
The
of
guy
his
did
movies.
Irreversible.
We're
2009, so probably not.
we're gonna do that one on What the Fuck Friday too.
Yeah. There's a few. Like I don't know. Paul found me one that was a Power Rangers ripoff, and I was like, what the fuck? And it
And
it
Wait,
was
hold on, let's
awful,
see.
you know.
Some of these might be here.
don't
Well,
forget Greasy Strangler. It's
Greasy.
still one of my favorites.
I hate that movie
How do you hate that movie?
because the joke goes on way too long.
There's a
And
lot
I
of jokes
always
that
get so much hate for it, but
we
it's it's not
we
it's
got to
not very good.
meet the actor
Oh, have you
who
seen You
made
Might Be the Killer?
I have it. I haven't watched it yet.
he might be the killer. I've heard of
Um
it.
with Fran Kranz and Allison Hannigan.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend that.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah,
he's a huge Allison Hannigan fan.
yeah, huge, huge, huge. I
Yeah.
just haven't gotten
Yeah.
around to watching it yet.
It is a wonderful movie
In
that
fact,
you
I
should
You're a
watch.
Buffy fan, right?
Yes, but I haven't seen the last season.
N-
And I am a personal spoiler alert, if no one has ever watched it. I'm a personal believer that they should have let her just die and be dead.
Right. Well,
well, she thinks that too.
Paul's got a movie that Juliet Landau, who played God, what's her name? Not
Drusilla.
Drusilla on Buffy,
I realize
directed.
we are still rambling about this too on the thing, and I didn't know if you wanted to.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go to the the stinkometer in a bit.
Yeah,
Uh,
because I was
This is
like,
the
we're just
Juliet
rambling.
Lewis, or I'm sorry, the Juliet
Juliet
Landau
Land.
movie, Amongst the
I
Yeah,
Dead,
don't. What year is it?
Place Among the Dead. I
yeah.
think it's 2021,
Then I
maybe.
probably haven't seen it.
No, but we want to do that
Most of what
for.
we've been watching. Oh, slashers. Have you ever seen slashers?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Oh, this has to be on your What the Fuck Friday. Oh my goodness. Okay,
Is
so
that
it is
available on
based
Tubi?
on, I don't know, but it is based on the concept of Japanese game shows and how ridiculous they are. But this one has people who volunteer to go up against these essentially like serial killer monsters, but they all have different personalities. Like I think there's this name like Bubba, and he's the hick killer, and there's like different ones, and it's got an amazing theme song, and it's absolutely fantastic. And if you guys do it, like it's just good fun.
All
Okay.
right. Well,
Well,
if we
we'll
can
have
get it
to.
on Tubi,
I can't. It's not on Tubi, but we'll find it somewhere or something.
we'll find it.
All
Yeah, I
right.
don't
Well,
know.
we are at that time. So we can ramble about other stuff after if you want to, but we need to wrap this up. So, we do what's known as a stinkometer, and when it's my turn to do it, I talk about it. When it's Paul's turn to do it, he talks about it. But in the stinkometer, it's a 1 to 10 scale. One being really, really good, and 10 being really stinky and usually bad. But those ones usually have a lot of problems. Like you can't hear them, you can't see them, stuff like that, you know. And then you could also do a point 0.5, like 5.5 or 6.5 if you're not quite sure which one you want to do. So, I'll go first, and then we add them all up at the end of the year, and we see which ones are high up on the ladder of stink, which are is our stink ladder. And honestly, for me, this is not going to be a high stinky movie. I actually really like this movie. I watched this a few times. Hadn't seen it in a while. But I'm very happy I watched it. I'm happy I watched it on Blu-ray. So I'm gonna give it a 4.5. It's not it's not like stinky stinky, but it's not, you know, very, very low yet. Like I think it's got a few issues, but not very good. So who wants to go next? You want Cayt, would you like to go next?
Sure, I'll give it a 4.
Give it a four?
Because I don't think I don't think it's like super stinky or anything. I think it's just a fun movie, and I mean, it's not anything other than what it presents itself as. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah. What about you, Paul?
Yeah, I'll probably give it a little higher score because, like I said, the second time I've come around to watch it, I found more things that it irritated me. But it's still not a particularly stinky film. And if you go into it with the right attitude and just kind of like let it roll and enjoy it for what it is, I think people will be able to overlook most of the issues that I have more of a problem with this time because I noticed them more this time. Um, but I'm going to go with a 5.5.
Five and a half. Okay. Um, so let me get this up here. So that was 4.5, 5.5,
So it's like
and
14, I think.
is that 14? Somebody do math. I'm gonna figure that out real quick, or I'm gonna use my calculator.
8 plus 5.5.
Eight.
Oh, I thought he was 4.5.
I did 4.5.
Oh,
Yeah.
he said 4.5.
Yeah,
So
I
four
did
and a half
four,
and 5.5
4.5
is
plus
10, plus Kate's 4 is 14.
plus 4 is 14. Yep. So that's a 14 on the stink scale. So let's real quick. Let's see what other movies are on the ladder of
And that's
stink
better than
here.
average because average is 15.
Is average 15?
Yep,
I guess, well, that's half of 30,
30.
right? So
Hmm.
that would be average would be a little less than average. Um, so 14 on the ladder of stink is, jeez, you make it so difficult to get in here. Um, hold on once.
Let me just see a top of your head.
Yep, I'm just looking down right now.
Like
Oh, there's one other one right now is the brain from Planet Eros.
Oh, very nice.
Got a 14. Let me see if
John Agar.
none of the ones that we did this year got it because we haven't added a lot of those yet. So, no,
Now
no,
we're
no
still catching
14.
up with last year's
I
stuff.
know. I still gotta send you the specials, which are July. So, all right. So, hold on.
A
Wait,
message to you,
49.
Rudy.
Wait, what's nine?
Ba, 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 ba.
13.5. So the closest one is Dead and Rotting, which is 13.5, which, but this one did not, I don't think we've gotten a 14 for any other one. So Brain from Planet Eros is the only other one that we, got a 14 on, which is pretty cool. So there you go. It's nice to always have ones that are like by themselves, because that just means that we get to see that,
Mhm.
that
Filling in the gaps.
yeah, fill in the gaps. So there you go. 14. So that's pretty good. Um like I said, I thought it was a decently done movie. I didn't find many flaws. I think I had it at 4 and then for the longest time, and then all that ending with the guy coming back just ruined that whole scene for me, personally and stuff. So put it to 2.5, but I didn't care about many of the other issues that because I could hear it, I could see it. If there were script issues, some of that stuff I can kind of look over if, unless it's really bad.
And nobody
Sure.
pooed in a coffee pot, which really gets your goat.
Yes. Have you ever seen Thanksgiving? Cayt,
no.
you never seen that
No,
movie?
I did watch Thanksgiving this last year though.
Yeah, it's a little bit
You need
different.
to watch Thanksgiving, trust me. And Thanksgiving 2, or 3, actually.
Thanksgiving 3. There is no 2,
I'm
and that's the joke.
sure it's
It's an evil
somewhere in
turkey
here
puppet.
or will be. Yeah, yeah. I'm aware of what it is. I don't know if he owns it.
He probably hasn't picked it up for that. But if you do it for Thanksgiving, around Thanksgiving time. Perfect kind of Gobble
Yeah,
gobble,
because
motherfucker.
well, that's what Thanksgiving was perfect for this last season, so that's what we watched.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. Well, everybody, yeah, so that about wraps it up here. I want to see real quick. There's let's see. I think I've got, if I'm correct, I'll have one more coming up, and then Paul. Nope, wait, hold on. Yeah, so Paul's next. Paul's episode is next, and we've already recorded that. So, yeah.
So does this mean, Kate, we're going to get you a couple more times?
Maybe we'll have to see
Hmm.
the film.
Okay.
Well,
I've
next
decided
time
it
will be,
has to be as long as I own it because I can't watch the stupid ads. You have no idea how much I hate ads.
yeah,
Mm.
They're the bane of my existence.
it drove her crazy. But that's when you go and do something else while the ad's going on.
No, because it's not enough time to do anything. I'm spoiled now by having a partner that owns everything,
Well, it
True.
sounds
where
like
I
there's a
pay
good
extra
there's
for
a
the
good chance that you'll have it there then.
yeah. Yeah, you guys don't see the rest of this room. It's pretty intense.
Well, whatever the next one is, it's going to be Paul's pick. So, and Paul finds some stuff that probably Eric would already own. So there
Oh,
you
I'm
go.
sure.
But yeah, he'll most likely find something that's on Tubi because I won't own it, you know. So there you go. And I don't mind the ads. It just brings back my childhood of watching
No, but
movies.
they're not good. They're awful ads. They're not like fun ads
Yeah, it
anymore.
used to be fun ads. Yeah, I
Now
still
it's
go to
just all
YouTube.
Tide and Gain and
Although I guess if you pay, you get no commercials or something. Isn't there a way to do that?
yeah.
Not for
Not I don't know,
Tubi.
not with Tubi,
I don't
Oh,
think
really?
Tubi's gotten that
but with
yet.
other stuff.
But like,
And I
yeah,
pay.
YouTube and other places do that. But yeah, would not, I would not pay for Tubi. It's unless they made it so you had to pay.
Well, shit, I'd sooner watch Tubi than Netflix. I mean, Tubi's got a lot more stuff on it that I find interesting. You
Yeah,
know,
Yeah, I don't have Netflix.
if I were going to pay for something, it would be Tubi.
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I
yeah,
pay
and
for
thankfully you
Hulu
don't have
because I
to.
watch Bob's Burgers incessantly.
And that's Netflix, right?
No, 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 it's Hulu.
A Hulu. There you go. So you have Hulu. I've got
Yeah.
almost all the streaming channels now, so I just watch whatever. And now I'm just watching FBI. So that's all I've been, other than
Oh, and we
watching
have
the ones that
Discovery
people do.
Plus to watch Expedition Unknown.
Nice, nice. Well, everybody, thank you guys for joining us. Join us next week where it's Paul's episode, and it is it is a movie. So,
It
uh,
is a movie.
it's a movie. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna spoil
Won't
it.
be paint dry, but it'll be a movie.
Yeah, thankfully you haven't tried to show me that one yet. I would say nope, you know. And Jen, you would do that to Jen, and she would like, nope, you know. So thank you guys for joining us, and join us next week. Until then, everybody, thanks, Kate.
Thanks,
Uh
Kate.
we can't wait to
Thanks.
have you back.
Yay.
Bye,
Yay.
everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.